Hey guys, welcome to Chapter 3 of Visual Merchandising. Let's take a look at it real quick. Starting over there on page 38. I'm going to tell you the introduction to this chapter is really good, especially the first paragraph. It talks about although the conception and mechanics of most displays are secondary in importance to merchandising being offered, it is often true that the shopper would not act on a desire for merchandise if its presentation was not striking. They might even be looking for something they need, but if you don't present it the right way, they'll go to your competitor, and that's the last thing in the world we want to do. Also in that same introduction, it talks about, I'm in the second paragraph now, for students of retailing, an understanding of the various approaches to the planning, development, and execution of visual installations is essential. That's what we're going to start looking at here. Looking on down, we talk about in-house visual merchandising department. Typically, your larger department stores, your Saxes, your Berghoffs, stuff like that. The bottom paragraph on 38 talks about the effectiveness of seasonal merchandise promotions. It's unfortunate that we've missed Christmas, but when you look at this week's assignment, you might have an opportunity to track one down. Over on page 39, we start talking about the kickoff seminar for employees. And then on page 40, which goes on to page 41 and 2 and 3, we start talking about Lord and Taylor approach. What I like about these several pages is that it actually shows you some of their guidelines. For example, on 41, you've got the presentation guidelines overview. Over on page 43, it actually shows them how to design this fragrance hat box. This is the kind of information you'll get from corporate. For example, you might be working in Statesville, but your corporate office could be in LA. They will send you this type of information so that your display looks exactly like what they did at corporate. On page 44, the daily walkthroughs, the display's appearance begins each day with a clean look. Think about it. You go to Belk's, people are touching those mannequins, those displays throughout the day. So you go through at the end of the day and you put it back together. And that's what the trimmer does, so that it's good for the next day. A sloppy display tells the customer it's a sloppy store. They might end up at your competitor. We don't want that. We talk about total centralization visual plan, daily display presentation kits. Over on page 45, there's 5 bullets there. You'll probably need that later. I don't know if you will or not, but you might see that again. And then just about, I don't know, a quarter of the way down the page, it talks about nowadays, with the trend away from traditional window structures in favor of wide open fronts and pane of glass walls separating the outside from the inside of the store, the centralized approach to visual merchandising has become a little easier, which we all like. Bottom of page 45, over to page 46, it talks about the freelance. Some of you might actually take this up as a profession and go out on your own. There's one paragraph, it's down here at the bottom of page 46. It talks about, I thought it was page 46, it talks about if you just want to get your foot in the door, go ask some of these retailers if they'll let you do a window or a display for free. Or ask just to sit in and watch how their visual merchandiser does it. Kind of like an internship. Over on page 47, we have the chapter overview. Number 2, we talk about the 3 major visual merchandising categories of retailers, which was pretty much what the whole chapter is about. It's a good chapter. We'll have a real good assignment for this week. But please read the chapter, and I'll see you in a little bit.